Hi everyone, my name is Kevin Smith. I'm 35 years old and I work as a sales manager in a small company in the town of Springfield, Oregon. My wife Ginny is 2 years younger than me and works as a teacher at a local elementary school. We got married 7 years ago, soon after graduating from college. Despite the fact that we both work, our financial situation leaves much to be desired. My salary is not as high as I would like, and I just can't get a promotion even though I try my best. Ginny earns even less because teachers are not paid very much. We live in a small rented apartment on the outskirts of the city. It's not in the best condition. The paint on the walls is peeling, the kitchen faucet is leaking, and the floorboards creak with every step. But this is all we can afford at the moment. Despite our financial difficulties, Ginny and I love each other and try to enjoy life. On weekends we go to the park, have picnics, and ride bikes. Sometimes we go out to an inexpensive restaurant, or to the movies if we manage to save a little money. Ginny is my rock and support. She always believes in me and encourages me, even when I doubt myself. "Kevin, you're the smartest and most hardworking person I know," she often says. "One day your bosses will notice it, and you will definitely get a promotion. You just need to believe and not give up." One morning when I came to work, I saw a note from the secretary on my desk. "Kevin, go to Mr. Nakamura as soon as you get in," it said. Mr. Ren Nakamura is my boss, the CEO of the company. A middle-aged Japanese man, always impeccably dressed and very demanding. I immediately felt a slight nervousness. Why would Mr. Nakamura need me? Did I mess something up in the last report? Or maybe he's not happy with my sales last month. With anxious thoughts, I headed to the boss's office. "Come in," came Mr. Nakamura's voice after I knocked. I entered and saw him sitting behind a massive wooden desk. He motioned for me to sit in the chair opposite. "Have a seat, Kevin. I have news for you." I sat down, feeling my heart pounding with excitement. Mr. Nakamura looked at me intently and said, "Kevin, I've been watching your work for a long time. You have shown yourself to be a responsible and hard-working employee. Therefore, I have decided to promote you. As of today, you are a senior sales manager." I couldn't believe my ears. The promotion I had dreamed of for so long had fallen on me out of the blue. This is a great honor for me, Mr. Nakamura," I stammered. "Thank you for your trust. I won't let you down." My boss nodded and shook my hand. Leaving the office, I immediately called Ginny. "Honey, you won't believe it. I got promoted," I practically shouted into the phone. Ginny squealed with joy. "I told you you're the best." "I'm so proud of you, baby." That evening, Ginny and I celebrated my promotion. She made my favorite lasagna, and I bought a bottle of good wine. We made plans for the future, dreaming of our own home and travels. It seemed that all our problems were now behind us. About 3 months had passed since my promotion. Our life had improved noticeably. Thanks to my increased salary, we were able to move to a more spacious and comfortable apartment in a good neighborhood. We started saving money for the down payment on our own home, but the main news was waiting for me ahead. One evening, when I came home from work, Ginny greeted me with a mysterious smile on her face. "I have a surprise for you," she said. "Please sit down." I sat on the couch, wondering what it could be. Ginny pulled out a small box from behind her back and handed it to me. I opened it and saw 2 lines on a pregnancy test inside. "Congratulations, Daddy," Ginny exclaimed, hugging me. I was stunned and incredibly happy at the same time. Ginny and I had been dreaming of having a baby for a long time, but we kept putting it off due to financial difficulties. And now everything was falling into place. The following months were spent in pleasant hassles and preparations for the arrival of the baby. We bought a crib, a stroller, lots of clothes and toys. I went with Ginny to all her doctor's appointments, listening with excitement to our baby's heartbeat on the ultrasound. My colleagues at work congratulated me, and Mr. Nakamura even personally handed me an envelope with a check for a large sum. "This is for you for the first time when the baby is born," he said with a smile. I was touched by his gesture. And then the day came when I became a father. It happened early in the morning at 5:30 a.m. after long hours of labor. Ginny was so brave and strong, I held her hand and supported her as much as I could. When I first held our son, whom we decided to name Michael, I was overwhelmed with emotions. He was so tiny and perfect, but at the same time, somewhere deep down, a strange feeling arose. Michael didn't look like me at all. He had dark hair and brown eyes, while Ginny and I are both blonde and blue-eyed. I pushed those thoughts away, convincing myself that many children don't look like their parents, and that appearances can change over time. The first weeks at home with a newborn were hectic and busy. Sleepless nights, endless diapers and feedings. Ginny and I were exhausted but immensely happy. However, my doubts wouldn't leave me alone. I began to notice that Ginny often received messages on her phone and immediately deleted them. Sometimes she would go to another room to talk. When I asked who had called her, she would answer evasively or say it was for work. One time, while rocking Michael, I suddenly realized that he looked a lot like Mr. Nakamura. The same dark hair, eye shape, nose shape. Could it be? No, I couldn't believe it. But the worm of doubt had already settled in my soul. 4 months had passed since Michael's birth. I was increasingly convinced that he could not be my biological son. But I loved him with all my heart and couldn't imagine my life without him. However, the thought that Ginny might have cheated on me haunted me. I had to know the truth. One day, when Ginny went to the store, leaving her phone on the table, I made up my mind. With trembling hands, I opened her messages and found a correspondence with Mr. Nakamura. What I read shocked me. They weren't just flirting, they had a full-fledged affair. And judging by the dates, it started about a month before my promotion. In one of the last messages, Mr. Nakamura wrote, "You've fulfilled your part of the deal. I hope motherhood isn't too tiring for you. You know I'm always ready to help my son." I felt like I had been punched in the gut. How could she? How could he? I felt betrayed, humiliated, broken. At that moment, I heard the front door opening. Ginny was back. I met her at the door, phone in hand. "How could you? How could you do this to me?" I screamed, showing her the messages. Ginny turned pale. "Kevin, I'll explain everything," she started, but I interrupted. "Explain? What's there to explain? You cheated on me, slept with my boss, and then gave birth to his child. And all for my promotion? How could you stoop so low?" Ginny burst into tears. Through her sobs, she told me that Mr. Nakamura had invited her to a business dinner where he offered her a deal, her body in exchange for my promotion. She agreed, thinking it would only be one time. But then he started blackmailing her, threatening to tell me everything and fire me. I listened to her and felt my heart break into a million pieces. Yes, she made a terrible mistake, but I was also to blame. To blame for not being able to provide for our family, for making my career more important to her than her own dignity. That night, we talked until morning. We cried, screamed, hugged. I forgave Ginny, but told her that our relationship would never be the same. We decided to keep our family together for Michael's sake, but we knew that we had a long way to go to rebuild trust. The next day, I went to Mr. Nakamura and submitted my resignation. He tried to stop me, even offering to raise my salary. But I spat in his face and walked out, slamming the door. I knew I would find a new job. The main thing was that I had regained my honor and respect. A year has passed. Ginny and I are still together, raising Michael. We go to family therapy, learning to trust each other again. I got a new job, albeit not as prestigious. It's not easy for us, but we're coping. Because true love is capable of forgiving and overcoming a lot. And looking into my son's happy eyes, I realize it was worth it. Did you like this story? Let us know in the comments what you liked. Subscribe to our storytelling podcast. Also, don't forget to like and ring the bell so you don't miss more interesting stories. See you soon.